All right, welcome back. Have you ever wondered how an AI can look at a picture and just write the perfect caption? Or how it can translate a sentence from one language to another almost instantly? Well, the secret sauce is this really powerful, kind of hidden mechanism. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on cross-attention, the AI bridge that connects different ideas and lets these models see and speak between totally different worlds of information.
So let's just take a classic example, right? Machine translation. As the AI is generating this French sentence, le chat est ici, it's doing it one word at a time. And at every single step, it has a choice to make. I mean, how does it know at the exact moment it needs to write chat that it should be looking at the word cat in the original sentence? How does it line those two things up? That's the big question, right? And that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So this whole problem, we can actually call it the translator's dilemma. It's really the fundamental challenge you face in any task where you're trying to turn one sequence of things into another, and it doesn't matter if that's text or images or even audio.
Here's the deal. To get the next word right, the model has to juggle two things at once. First, it has to look at what it's already written, to make sure the French sentence makes sense and follows grammar rules. But second, and this is just as crucial, it needs to keep looking back at the original English sentence to make sure the translation is actually accurate. So, how on earth does it manage to do both?
Okay, so the first piece of this puzzle is a concept you might already know about, self-attention. This is the part of the process that handles the first half of our dilemma, understanding the sentence it's currently writing.
Look, self-attention is awesome for what it does. It lets every word in a sentence look at all the other words in that same sentence to figure out the context. But here's the catch. The problem is, it can only talk to itself. It's an internal conversation. It can make sure the French sentence it's writing is grammatically perfect, but it has no way of checking if it actually matches the English one. To look outside, to check its work against the original, yeah, for that you need a bridge. And that right there brings us to the breakthrough. Cross-attention. This is the game changer. It's the mechanism that finally allows one sequence to talk to another. It's literally the bridge that lets the decoder's world, the new sentence being built, connect with the encoder's world where all that original information is stored.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly, right? Self-attention, that's all about intra-context, looking inward, understanding itself. Cross-attention, that's inter-context. It's about looking outward, finding the connections between a brand new sequence and the original source. This is the tool we needed to solve the translator's dilemma. All right, so how does this bridge actually work? To get it, we need to talk about queries, keys, and values. But you know what? Forget the technical jargon for a second. Let's use an analogy that'll make this all click.
I want you to imagine you're a music producer, a DJ. You're in the studio, and you're making a hot new track. That new song is our decoder. It's generating something new. And to make it, you've got this amazing library of old-school vinyl, these classic records. That's our encoder, holding all that rich, original information. So here's the creative process. Step 1. You're working on your track and you think, I need a cool little drum beat right here. That's your query. It's a question. What do I need right now? Step 2. You take that idea and you start flipping through your classic records, scanning the labels. Those labels are the keys. They tell you what's on each track. Step 3, you find a label that matches your idea and you pull the actual audio snippet, the value. And finally, you mix that sample right into your new song.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. You have to get this part. The questions, the queries, they come from the DJ, from the new track that's being made. But the answers, the record labels, the keys, and the actual music snippets, the values, they all come from that original classic record. That one-way street of information is the whole magic trick behind cross-attention.
Okay, so a single DJ is great, but what if you're trying to make a truly epic, complex track, a real masterpiece? For that, you're going to need a whole production team. And that's exactly where we level up to multi-head cross-attention. It's not just one bridge anymore, it's a whole network of them. So let's just push this analogy a little further. Forget the solo DJ. Now picture a high-end recording studio. You've got a whole team of specialist engineers, and they're all listening to that same source record, but they're each listening for something different.
Each of these specialists, each head, has a very specific job. One engineer, she's only listening for the bass line. That's her entire focus. The guy next to her, he's looking for a funky guitar riff. A third person is just trying to isolate that perfect vocal harmony. By working together, this team can pick up on all these different layers at the same time. And this is why a great AI model can do more than just a literal word-for-word translation. It can pick up on style, on syntax, on the deeper meaning all at once.
And this is so important to understand.
This whole bridge building thing, it is not just for translating languages. Not even close. Because it's so good at connecting different kinds of information, it's become a cornerstone for so much of the AI we see today, showing up in some really amazing places.
Think about image captioning, for example. The part of the AI writing the caption is basically asking questions like, hey, what's that main thing over on the left side of the picture? That's its query. And it uses cross-attention to look at the encoded image data to find the answer. Oh, that's a dog.
And what's really cool is it works the other way around for text-to-image models, like the ones that are so popular right now. As the AI is, say, drawing a patch of blue sky, it's sending a query back to your text prompt, asking, for these pixels right here, what part of the user's text matters most? Ah, the part that says, a bright blue sky.
Same thing for speech recognition. As it's writing out the words, it's constantly asking, okay, for this next word, which little blip in this audio waveform should I be paying attention to? It's basically a universal translator between different kinds of data.
So that really leaves us with one final and I think pretty mind-blowing question. We've seen it build these incredible bridges between text, images, and audio, but what's next? Could we use it to connect, say, EEG brainwaves directly to spoken words, or connect a massive, complex financial dataset to a simple, intuitive graph? The basic idea is the same. You just have one world of information asking questions of another. And when you think about it that way, the possibilities for what AI can connect next are, well, pretty much limitless.